Today, let's talk about how the things you eat can mess with your hormones. Turns out, there are sneaky chemicals out there called endocrine disruptors, or EDCs for short, that can interfere with how your hormones work. These EDCs can mimic your body's natural hormones, block them from doing their job, or just mess with them in general. Unlike some toxins that come and go quickly, EDCs like BPA, PFAS, and phthalates can build up in your bodies over time, which isn't exactly ideal. While EDCs are a real concern backed by science, it's important to remember that you can't completely avoid them. But the good news is, by understanding which foods are the worst offenders, you can make smarter choices to limit their impact. So, in this video, let's learn about some surprising foods that can disrupt your hormones and see some tips on how to nourish your body for better hormonal balance. Number 1. Disinfected water. While water is essential for life, it can indeed be a source of endocrine-disrupting chemicals. Factories, farms, and even water treatment plants can all unintentionally add EDCs to your water. Factories might release wastewater containing leftover materials from manufacturing, medicines, and bug killers directly into rivers and streams. Farms use bug killers, weed killers, and fertilizers, and these can seep into the ground and contaminate the water you drink and use for other things. Even though water treatment plants efficiently clean water, they might not always remove all the EDCs. In fact, a study conducted in China in 2019 found tiny amounts of EDCs in treated water. But there are ways to fight back. For most people, using a good carbon filter on your tap is the way to go. These filters take out lots of bad stuff from your water. After filtering, put your water in a stainless steel bottle to keep it clean and avoid microplastic issues. In fact, a 2023 study showed that combining these filters with charcoal could remove over 95% of EDCs from water, making water significantly cleaner. Also, don't reuse plastic water bottles because they can release harmful chemicals into the water, especially when they get hot. Instead, use reusable stainless steel bottles and keep them in cool, dark places, like the fridge. Heat can make plastic break down faster and leak more chemicals. Number 2. Seafood. While seafood offers numerous health benefits, it can also be a source of per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, man-made chemicals used in various industries. These chemicals enter water bodies and accumulate in fish and shellfish through their diet and environment. The amount of PFAS chemicals in different kinds of seafood can vary quite a bit. Generally, bigger fish that eat other fish, like tuna, salmon, and swordfish, tend to have higher levels of these chemicals compared to creatures that live on the ocean floor, like shrimp and clams. When consumed, these chemicals in seafood can disrupt various hormonal processes in your body, including those related to reproduction, development, and metabolism. But hold on, cutting out fish from your diet completely isn't the answer. Studies show that eating fish a few times a week is still safe and may actually be good for you in many ways. However, there are some smart choices you can make to limit your exposure to these chemicals. First, check out local advisories. These resources tell you which fish in your area are more likely to have PFAS and which are safer. This way, you can make informed decisions when buying seafood. Plus, you can go for smaller, freshwater fatty fish, like sardines, anchovies, herring, smelt, and Atlantic mackerel. These types tend to have minimal amounts of contaminants or chemicals. Number 3. Canned foods. Canned food seems convenient and affordable, but it also contains endocrine disruptors that can mess with your hormones. One of the most common EDCs found in can linings is bisphenol A, or BPA for short. While you can find more and more BPA-free options these days, older cans or those containing acidic foods like tomato soup might still have it. BPA can leak from the lining into your food, and things like heating the can, especially in the microwave, or the type of food inside, can speed up this process. For example, BPA is more likely to leak from cans of tomato soup than from cans of most vegetables. The concern is that BPA can act like a fake version of the female sex hormone estrogen. This means that it can latch onto receptors in your body that are meant for real estrogen, potentially messing up various hormonal processes. Studies suggest it might affect thyroid function, insulin production, and even fetal development. So, what can you do? Look for BPA-free cans whenever possible. Avoid heating canned food, especially in the microwave. And most importantly, focus on a varied diet rich in fresh, frozen, and minimally processed options. Number 4. Food in plastic storage containers. Those handy plastic containers many people love for leftovers might also contain endocrine disruptors, just like in canned food. The most common EDC in many plastic containers is, again, BPA. One 2018 study with over 1,400 participants found that people with higher levels of BPA in their system were more likely to be obese or have metabolic syndrome. This condition is basically a bunch of risk factors for heart disease and diabetes. So, what can you do? Keep an eye out for BPA-free containers whenever possible. Glass containers may be a great option. They don't leak such chemicals and are super easy to clean. Stainless steel is another good option. It's tough, doesn't stain easily, and doesn't usually absorb any funky smells. And for those who love to cook and store in the same container, silicone is a heat-resistant option that's safe and flexible. Number 5. Fast food containers. Ever wondered if those fast food containers might be messing with your hormones? Some chemicals in these containers, called phthalates, are commonly used to make the plastic flexible. They're also found in other packaging, but fast food is a more common source. A study from 2011 even showed that people who ate more fast food had more of these chemicals in their bodies. Studies show that pregnant women exposed to phthalates are more likely to have children with developmental issues. Moreover, phthalate exposure has also been associated with an increased risk of obesity, insulin resistance, and type 2 diabetes. To avoid this, try to cook at home more often and choose restaurants that use paper or cardboard boxes instead of plastic. Don't reheat your fast food in the plastic container it came in. The heat can make more of those chemicals leak into your food. If you need to reheat, use a glass or ceramic plate instead. Number 6. Microwave popcorns. The lining of most microwave popcorn bags contains PFAS. These are used to prevent grease from leaking. Studies have shown people who eat a lot of microwave popcorn have higher levels of these compounds in their blood. Secondly, some microwave popcorn brands use an artificial flavoring called diacetyl to give it that buttery taste. Diacetyl is a substance commonly used in factories, and breathing it in can cause lung problems, especially for people who work around it a lot. This is the main health concern associated with diacetyl. However, some studies suggest it might have another potential effect, influencing sex hormones. So, what are your options? Well, there are a few healthier alternatives to microwave popcorn. Air-popped and stovetop popcorn are the simplest and healthier options. Moreover, many brands are now making popcorn bags that don't contain PFAS. Look for labels that say PFAS-free or C8-free when choosing these options. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel to support our mission to help improve your health. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.